Hello everybody, welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jean Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I am your foreign educated physical therapist guide to US application. So I just want to thank everybody who attended the live event in the Philippines, here in the Philippines last March 11, 2023. It was a successful event as some of the participants even drove 7-8 hours from Isabela. Some of them came from Bataan, Quezon, many came from Laguna and other nearby towns, but some of them are really far away places just to attend the live event. So I really would like to thank each one of you who made it to the live event. And I have good feedbacks, great feedbacks actually, from the attendees. And I'm going to share them with you as I make other videos along the way. Okay, so, but these future physical therapists in the US have learned tremendous amount of information from the conference, from the seminar, that they never realized, which is true, which is false, based on what is being told to them, what they gather from the internet or from hearsays. And it actually enlightened them and gave them a sense of hope, a sense of direction on how to move forward with their US application. So I would just like to share with you guys, there was a question about one of the participants in attendees in the seminar asked me, because she has a fiance, American citizen fiance, and she was asking me about her process. Okay, so and I also consult with someone who has the same situation, that he has a American fiance as well. Okay, so if you have a fiance, and I'm not telling you to go ahead and get an American fiance, okay, this is just for those who are already in the situation. Okay, I'm not encouraging you to do get someone, be hooked up with someone who's American just for the sake of your US processing. It's not right. Okay, so but if for those of you who are already have a fiance and asking me about the process, okay, the process depends. Okay, it all depends, just like I said, with what state you want to practice. Okay, so let's take for example New York. New York is the easiest state to apply. Most of the time when you apply to New York for credentialing, most of the time you don't have any deficiencies. You pass your NPTE, you become a licensed physical therapist in the US. New York can even release your license if you don't have social security number yet. So even if you are in your own country, you can get your copy of your license. Okay, so if you have a US American fiance, and if you apply before the marriage, before you get married with that American fiance, okay, for New York, it's not gonna be a problem, because again, when you apply to New York, they do not require you to pass the type 1 review for immigration. So you don't need yet to get the deficient subjects for healthcare worker certificate, which has a coursework tool number 6. Okay, so for New York, you can get licensed by passing the NPTE, passing the credentialing, of course, completing the requirements of the Board of New York Physical Therapy, paying the fee, okay, passing the NPTE, and you can get licensed through that. Okay, so after you get licensed in New York and then you got married, okay, then you will be applying for like a conditional immigrant visa, okay, for under marriage. Okay, so you will be an immigrant. So if you pursue your US dream to become a physical therapist, you can process your New York application, get licensed, maybe eventually you get married with your fiance, then you will become an immigrant, and you don't need the healthcare worker certificate, so you don't need the type 1 review for immigration, okay, because you are already an immigrant. Okay, now if, for example, the second scenario is you apply to New York, okay, and then you become licensed in New York, you pass your MPTE and everything, and then everything, it did not go well with your fiance. You did not end up marrying your fiance. What will happen is you will need the type 1 review for immigration. So it means that you need to process the deficient subjects, whatever deficient subjects that the credentialing body will identify. You have to get them under coursework tool number 6, okay? Pass the TOEFL, okay, and be certified or get the copy or approval for healthcare worker certificate, okay? So that is just an example for the state of New York, okay? Because New York, you can get licensed without actually getting through the type 1 review for immigration yet. Okay, for other states, if you apply before you get married, you have to submit all the requirements, okay? So for example, you don't have any working visa, you are not yet an immigrant, and you're not a U.S. citizen. Just like I always say in my other videos, you have to go through type 1 review for immigration. If it is not New York, if it is other state, okay, type 1 review for immigration. So meaning if you start your application before getting married, then you still need a healthcare worker certificate. But if you start your application in other states other than New York, again, for example, Illinois, or other state like Florida, if you start your application after you got married, then you will be an immigrant, okay, already an immigrant. Then you just need either educational credential review, depending on what the state is accepting, or the type 1 review for licensure, and you do not need the healthcare worker certificate. Okay, so I hope that is clear. I'm just going to recap everything. Okay, so for the state of New York, if you have a fiance, you can actually start the process for New York State. Okay, apply to New York State, apply for FCCPT New York or CGFNS New York, whatever you prefer to use, and pay the fee to New York, pass the NPTE, get the license from New York. Okay, so it depends on what will happen after that. Your license in New York. When you get married, then you don't need healthcare worker certificate because you're gonna be an immigrant. Okay, but if you don't get married, then you will need a type 1 review for immigration or the visa screen certificate from CGFNS. Okay, for other states, if you start the process again before you get married, then you have to have all the requirements, including the healthcare worker certificate that requires coursework tool number 6, that requires master's equivalent, okay, and passing the TOEFL. If you start your process after you got married, then you do not need the healthcare worker certificate as long as you are approved with an immigrant visa. You don't need healthcare worker certificate. You just need the credentialing part of it. Okay, the credentialing, it's either educational credential review, depending on what state, or the type 1 review for licensure. There are many states requiring that kind of FCCPT service. So you just have to really be aware of what state you want to practice and what are the requirements of that state. Okay, so I hope that answered that question about foreign educated physical therapist with fiance, American citizen fiance. And if you have any other questions, video suggestions, just put a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the videos that I make, so that I will keep on making the videos that will be beneficial for you, that will serve you, that will help you. Please share this video to other people that you know that will benefit from it and need answer to this kind of questions. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It really means so much to me. Share this video to your social media. And watch out for the upcoming virtual masterclass this year, 2023. I have more in plan on my calendar, so watch out for launch of those masterclasses. Okay, guys? Until the next video, again, thank you for watching and stay blessed.